Okay, let's talk about hormones. So, your body, a lot of people are doing bioidenticals, which I'm just going to lay it out there, does not balance hormones. It does not restore function to the thyroid, the liver. It doesn't clear candida overgrowth. It doesn't build the adrenals or restore pituitary, hypothalamus, brain function, all the things that control hormone production in the body. The only way to get truly balanced hormones is to restore function to the organs that are not functioning, to remove the stuff that doesn't belong, and to put in what your body needs to be able to heal. And that is going to be, you're going to get to a certain degree better by doing the things to your lifestyle and diet that your body needs. So it's some things that every person can do. Every person can drink more water. Every person can work on killing off candida in their body by cutting out all sugars, all grains, potatoes, things that break down into sugar in the body. Here's the thing, I'm not into food rules. I absolutely hate the word diet, but for the lack of a better term, that's when I say diet, now you know what I mean. God made the rules. Yeast lives off sugar or anything that breaks down into a sugar. So if you have taken antibiotics in your life, if you have a white coating on your tongue, if you have psoriasis, eczema, you name it, pretty much about 1,000 different conditions and diagnoses, candida is at the root of it. Even cancer, any autoimmune condition, you find candida overgrowth. So we all have candida in our body, but the overgrowth of it is what kills us, and it reproduces very rapidly, and it lives on sugar. So you have to heal the liver, you have to starve the body of sugars or anything that breaks down into a sugar to get better. This is why so many people that have done Atkins, which obviously it's like things are just imbalanced, but Atkins or paleo or anything that cuts out grains and sugars for the most part, they get somewhat better. But here's the thing, we've got to eat real food. There's no way around eating more veggies, eating more green stuff. But you have to watch things like beets and fruits and potatoes. And so those are all real food, and those are not foods that are bad for you, but they will contribute to feeding the yeast. And if yeast doesn't go away, you'll never restore function to the thyroid and the adrenals and the liver and all this stuff. So you have to remove this bad boy from the gut, and it's not easy to kill off. It reproduces faster than the good bacteria we're putting in. So you have to overdose on probiotics. Like most people that I test through muscle testing, dose on 3, 4, 5, 6 times what a bottle of probiotics says. With probiotics, basically you dose up until you get loose stools and then back down by 1 or 2 until your stools normalize. If you take enough, if you're taking tons and tons of probiotics but you're not getting loose stools, your body's utilizing every bit of it. And it's at some point it can become unaffordable if you have severe candida overgrowth. So you just have to do what you can do, and it's just going to take longer to heal. That's okay. Everybody can eat 4 spoonfuls of coconut oil a day. Everybody says, how do you get it in? However you can get it in. Eat it plain, mix it in smoothies, whatever. On my website, I have tons of candida recipes that will get you started and start teaching you how to think about cutting out these sugars and grains in your diet and have simple recipes that everybody can do. My website is happyhealthychristian.com. Supporting the thyroid. If you have a low body temperature of 98 degrees or below, if you take your temperature first thing in the morning before you move, before you get out of bed, and it registers below 98 degrees consistently, you have an underfunctioning thyroid regardless of what your blood work says. You have to trust me on that. Your adrenal glands, if you have been through any amount of stress, whether it's emotional, physical, you don't sleep at night, your adrenals are fried. Sleep issues are not, they are symptoms, but they're not diagnoses. They don't need sleep studies. We don't need to focus on that. You cannot have normal sleep if your adrenals, thyroid, and liver and gut are not functioning well. So taking sleeping pills is one of the most ridiculous and outrageous things we're doing because they're so dangerous to the liver. So you're basically pouring gasoline on a problem that already exists, and you're only going to make more problems. You're going to just keep adding to the diagnostic list. So starting with the gut is how you balance hormones. If you have an underfunctioning thyroid, you will never, ever, ever have balanced hormones. If your liver's not functioning properly, and it will not show up on blood work, an enzyme test is not, your liver has thousands of functions, has more biochemical functions in the body than any other organ. Your adrenal glands produce over 50 hormones in the body. these organs are delicate and they need TLC. If you're a drinker, if you've eaten processed food or you ever did for any amount of time, your liver needs love and it needs help. Almost every person I work with and test, even after they've gone through detox or um, been eating healthy and doing the right things for 6 months or a year, I myself, they still need liver support. Their body still tests for liver support every day to maintain healthy hormones and energy and to lift the brain fog and all of that stuff. We're exposed to environmental toxins in our food, our air, our water, everywhere. We live in a super toxic world in every way, and that's not the point of getting into this video. But it's just to give you a wake-up call about where hormone balancing really comes from. Bioidenticals are not balancing your hormones. They are just slapping in plant-based versions of hormones to make blood work look good and somewhat alleviate symptoms. But the underfunctioning thyroid that's causing severe disease and other problems in your body, the crashed adrenals, the candida overgrowth, the unhealthy gut, the autoimmune fire that's raging in your body, the inflammation, none of that's going away because you're taking bioidentical hormones. So you're essentially, maybe your hot flashes are going away, maybe your libido's gone up a little bit, maybe you've lost some weight, but that's not true healing, and that's temporary, and it's going to come back to bite you. So my job is just to give you your hope back and to make you aware and to educate you, not to shame anyone, not to make anyone angry, not to cause a debate, but just to bring you truth about how your body really works and what it really takes to have balanced hormones. So these little daily habits, and these are things that I walk people through when I work with them, and figuring out exactly what is it that your body needs, not your friend that had similar symptoms and what they did and what they took. You could end up trying to figure it out on your own and driving yourself crazy and spending hundreds or thousands of dollars for years and never get to where you're going. I work with people all the time who know a lot about making raw fermented foods and sprouting, and they eat, or they've been a vegan, or they know so much about nutrition, but they don't know how to put it all together. And that is where God has gifted me, in trying to teach people how the body works in a simplistic way and coming up with a custom protocol for you so that we can target your problems, get you better, and get you back to doing what God has called you to do and living for kingdom purposes. So when I say getting people fit for God's kingdom and for their call, for their mission, that's what I'm talking about. So it's just one little snippet of education for you today. All right, I love you guys and hope that this benefited somebody today. Bye-bye.